You find me today inside Hall 2 at the National Exposition Centre in Birmingham. I'm here for Key Modern World Live, which is all different types of modelling under one roof. But we're only looking at the model railway layouts on display today. So I'm going to start looking and let's find the model railway layouts at this venue. Since we're already inside, let's start off by showing this interesting layout. Borth, Aberdully and Ullislas Railway. This 1:12 scale railway is based on the Fairbourne Miniature Railway and is operated by Alan Law and Friends. Daw St Stephen. This fictional double-O gauge layout by the Sawyer Valley Model Railway Club is set in South Yorkshire / North Midlands, with steam locomotives and early diesels from the BR Midland region, with stock also from the eastern and western regions also make an appearance. Brick Coast Main Line. This LEGO railway display is built from LEGO bricks by the northern members of the LEGO UK Railway, a LEGO train club for adult builders. But the important feature of this layout is that they made a stunning LEGO Forth Bridge, which honestly is very impressive. They also have Rothley Station as well as Stonehenge. Telling Dulloch. This double-O gauge layout by Terry 2 is set in the northeast Scotland and is a terminus of a fictional ex-Great Northern Scotland Railways branch line, and is set between 1948 and 1965, and also has an entrance to a whisky distillery. Z-Deck. Hope that is pronounced right. This HO gauge layout by Phil Colton is on the Utrecht to Eindhoven line and dates from 1990 to the present day, and has typical scenes for the Dutch railways. Teton Hill Yard. This double-O gauge layout by the Boston Modern Railway Society represents the 1980s into 1990s, with a busy mainline and coal concentration yards, as their aim is to keep something moving on the layout. Yorkshire Coast Electric Tramway. This layout is by the Barnsley Model Railway Club, which features electric trams and road vehicles in 00 gauge. The tramway has scratch-built buildings and sees trams travel from a town centre to the country on a coastal journey.
Up to top of the hill.
Now we're waiting for all that road.
Yeah. And this one's just Creston Club.
Did Vicky Gale in that?
There was a bit of sense or something. The road
Do it for this road, so it's improvement, and then we'll move this road. As soon as we put Unstowgate, we'll move.
Knaresborough, a 00 gauge layout by the Harrogate Model Railway Club, and is set during the 1950s into 1960s when steam was being replaced by diesels. Knaresborough is also a real-life location, and I do recommend visiting this area on the Harrogate Loop line between Leeds and York. Twelve Trees Junction. This 00 gauge layout is the final years of the Southern Steam, which is located just outside the capital. This layout is also making a return after being in storage for 5 years after the Horby magazine team revived the layout.
rubbish back. Jenna did say that, so she could afford everyone.
Rally stage. This isn't a model railway layout, but honestly, I really do like it. But this shows you could use model railway scenic techniques can be used in slot car racing. This scene is a rally stage. It's built by Dan Everson from Tunnel Name Model Railways. Hang on a sec. Is that New Junction Dorncrest and Idle Horse Railways watching some rallying? Let's slot in some clips, shall we? On Helgen's stand they had a TT120 layout called Camelot, which belongs to YouTuber PGTT120. This was on display as Helgen recently announced that they'd be doing a Class 55 Deltic and a Class 122 bubble car in TT120, and these were running on Camelot.
Really appreciate it. I think, although they have done a lot of work promoting it now around
Glasgow Eastfields TMD. This is the second time that this massive O-gauge layout has been on display. Glasgow Eastfields TMD is located near Glasgow Queen Street Station in the Scottish city, and is set in the 1980s during the BR Blue period, and was built by Mick Wowell, who has a lifelong interest in Scottish railways. Loughborough Midland. This double-O gauge layout by David Tooley with friends from the Ivanhoe Modern Railway Society demonstrates the volume and variety of trains that pass on this station on the Midland Bay Line. This station was before the platforms were extended and the old footbridge was replaced by a modern footbridge.
I've seen this video, I'm sure. You keep your thingies away from the...
Making tracks for Watford Junction. Pete Waterman and the Rail Nuts have continued their project to expand Watford Junction on the West Coast Bay Line. The expansion is recreating the skyline behind the railway. Watford Junction made its debut last year at Key Modern World Live as part of the Guinness World Records for the largest portable layout. This layout is also in double-O gauge. Polterly Fylde. This double-O gauge layout by the North Western Modern Railway Group is based on Polterly Fylde Station on the line to Blackpool North and is set between 2010 and 2017 before electrification, and the line to Fleetwood was still connected to the line to Polterly Fylde. But for layout operations, the abandoned line has been reinstated.
The owner of trailer YJ67 AKR is midway to the Key Modern World stand at the entrance to the showroom. So the owner of the trailer
Manston Airport. This is a fictional double gauge layout if the general manager of the Southern Railways, Sir Herbert Walker, did back air transportation, like he did when he pressed ahead with electrification and the developments of the Southampton docks. This station is a terminus at the existing aerodrome in Manston and is set in the early 1950s and is by Andy Hopper.
They do.
Canton. A new traction maintenance depot at Cardiff was constructed in 1964, which made a true start in dieselisation in South Wales. The layout is set during the EWS era privatisation between 1998 to 2004 and focuses on the east end of the depot. This double gauge layout is by Chris Fordham.
Starts and then can smooth itself out.
Do they do the EWS 66 as well?
They
do.
They
should be the right colour.
So there's a brake button on it as well because they've set it or like you said, yeah, so you have to use the brake button.
Right, okay. Where are you going with that? Where that new 60.
Five Mile House. This double gauge layout by the Lincoln and District Model Railway Club is set in 1935 and is on the Lincolnshire Loop Line, which was built by the Great Northern Railway. The station was sited south of the river with Fiskerton, the village it serves on the north bank. L&ER trays are running on this layout are fish trays for Boston, coal trays for the Yorkshire coal mines, and diverted trays for the East Coast Main Line. It has been a great time at Key Modern World Live. I had a great time meeting people, and I will admit that I didn't have the vibe of last year's show. I'm not one for being negative, but I'm just being honest. But it was still a great show, and I did enjoy it. I'd like to thank Key Publishing for putting on a great show, the exhibitors for their wonderful layouts, and also like to thank you for watching this video.